Have you heard the term backflipping as a real estate investor? You may not have. I don't know, maybe I made it up. I'm not really sure at this point, but backflipping is one of the most effective strategies and what I did a majority of my life as a real estate investor, which has been more than 30 years. So, backflipping involves a strategy that's almost never talked about in real estate investing circles because in real estate investing circles, they're always talking about actual just investment properties. But to me, everything is an investment property, including the houses that I live in. So when I talk about backflipping, I'm talking about houses that you live in. So a lot of times when you're moving with your family or with your whoever you live with, you don't have time to do a full renovation before you move in because you're either moving from a rental or you have a closing and you have to move in. There's no other options. So you can't always just do whatever you want before you move into a house. And a lot of houses aren't perfect when you move in. They may be in a great location. They may be in the school district that you want. They may have all the amenities that you want. And maybe down the line, you may think that you're going to do some repairs. Most of the time, you're not going to get to them because once you start living there, it's a pain to do anything. You're not going to be able to do the floors. You don't really want to rip up your whole kitchen while you're living there. So a lot of the times, you just live there the way that it is, enjoy the property. What backflipping is, as you get to the end of a property, and again, in order to do backflipping, you need to have access to money so you can go get your next house. So you either need to go buy your next house without a contingency, or if you're moving to a rental, you can go start the rental before you sell the house that you're living in. Backflipping only works if you can do that. So backflipping is actually doing the flip on the back end of your time there. So for me, like my kids were going to graduate at a certain point from high school. I knew that I didn't need to stay in that school district because my son had already graduated. My daughter was in a different school district. So I could move closer to the other area with her and with him to just make it easier. And that's exactly what I did. So I moved to a rental for 2 years because I knew I was going to move somewhere else after that when they graduated high school. And that was just my starting point to do the backflip. And then what I did is, obviously, I moved out of the house that I owned, and that gave me the time to do whatever I wanted to it. So then I treated it like a flip. I looked at it, saw what I paid for it, saw what I had already put in, just other repairs, and decided that I had a lot more money that I could make there if I did substantially more work. So I upgraded the kitchen, I upgraded the main bathroom on the second level, and then I blew out a wall in one of the bedrooms, created a double-decker bedroom, and fixed a lot of things, put in new fixtures, created a lot more ambiance for the house. But that's what a backflip is. It's flipping on the back end. A lot of times because you've lived there, the house is already nice. So a backflip doesn't cost as much as a regular flip. You're not buying a dump. You're just renovating the house that you lived in. The problem is for the emotionally attached homeowner, sometimes you then feel bad because you're like, oh, now the house is sweet. Why didn't I just live here like this? You have to get rid of the emotional attachment. I'll actually just link to that video up there about not getting emotionally attached to real estate. But it's important to note. So that's what it is. You live in the house, enjoy it. For me, I think it was 6 year stay in Montclair. Then I left, backflipped it, did really, really well. And that's a lot of times. Remember, you've built up appreciation during the time. So you already have equity. You can then, if you need to, activate a HELOC so you can do the renovation. Gives you lots of options. Again, remember, in order to backflip, you need to be able to move to your next residence first before you sell. That's the priority thing that you have to know that you have to do in order to make it the most worth it. But it can be accomplished through bridge loans, HELOC, things like that. So that's it. Now you know what backflipping is, and I don't think I've ever heard it. So if I coined the phrase, just let me know. It's going to go for a while. My name is Jonathan Green. I've been investing for more than 30 years. I run a big on-market real estate team called Streamline Properties on Market, brokered by eXp Realty. And in the investing world, I have a real estate investing podcast called Zen and the Art of Real Estate Investing. You can find it everywhere you listen to podcasts.